Karibuni sana. Welcome to East Driving School. My name is Vincent. I'm here to take you through what we call model town board. This is what we call model town board. And I'll begin straight away. I'll begin from mentioning or identifying the colors that this model town board has. This model town board, it has 4 colors. The first color is green color, which represents the vegetation beside the road. The second color is black color, which represents the tarmac road. Then the white color represents the lines that are found on the ground. Then of course the yellow color is found mostly at the corners. These are the yellow markings protecting the field. I'll go straight to the features that are found in model town board. So model town board has several features. One of the features that model town board has is roundabout. Feature number 1 is roundabout. Feature number 2, we have what we call parking zones, or parking area, or wherever you can park our vehicles. We have what we call yellow painted caps. These are the yellow markings found at the corners of the field. These are the yellow markings that protect the field. We have 3 types of roads. We have what we call two-way traffic road. This is what we call two-way traffic road. Then we have one-way. We have one-way type road. Whereby we shall see later road that we have major road and minor road. Then we have also these green parts. These green parts, we call them public lands. We call public lands. These are what we call public lands. We have what we call emergency exit. We have normal exit. We have what we call double continuous yellow line. We have what we call pedestrian crossing as another feature of the model town board. Then of course we have the traffic roads. We have the traffic roads here. All of these are the traffic roads. These are the traffic roads. And finally we have what we call central reserves. We have what we call central reserves. We call them actually central road reserves. And then of course we have the pavements here. Model town board is divided into 3 parts. We have divided into 3 important parts. We have what we call roundabout. We have what we call parking zones. Then of course we have the traffic roads. I'll begin with the roundabout. Roundabout is a junction where more than 2 roads meet at a point. Roundabout is a junction where more than 2 roads meet at a point. This is what we call roundabout. At the roundabout, we have the lanes. At the roundabout. These lanes, we count these lanes from outermost towards inside. This is lane 1, this is lane 2, this is lane 3, this is lane 4. So remember, we count the lanes at the roundabout from outermost towards inside. Remember, a lane is a path to be followed by the vehicle. A lane is a path to be followed by the vehicle. Then we have the piece of land, the piece of land found at the center or in the middle of the roundabout. We call it traffic island. This is what we call traffic island. It is a piece of land that is found in the middle of the roundabout. Remember the function of the traffic island, it facilitates the flow movement of vehicles moving into different directions without causing obstruction. It facilitates the flow movement of vehicles moving into different directions without causing obstruction. Remember, in terms of movements, you find that vehicles are moving in a roundabout in a clockwise direction. Vehicles move around the roundabout in a clockwise direction. Feature number 2 is what we call parking zones. Here, we have what we call parking area or parking zones. In Kenya, we have 2 types of parking zones. The first parking zone is what we call angle parking. We call it angle parking. You can also call it ample parking, or you can also call it controlled parking. Then you have another type of parking zone here. We call it flash parking. We call it flash parking, or parallel parking, or uncontrolled parking. I'll begin with angle parking. Angle parking, which types of vehicles do that at angle parking? It is strictly for saloon vehicles. In angle parking, we park only small cars. Only small cars are parked in angle parking. It has its own rules. The first one, as I've mentioned, it is strictly for saloon vehicles. Number 2, we park our vehicles from far left. So this is what you call entrance, whereby it is not total. This is what you call entrance, and the total area is what you call exit. So the rule number 2, you enter through this entrance, and we park our vehicles from far left to there. So I park my vehicle from far left. That is rule number 2. Rule number 3, as you can see how we have packed this vehicle, you'll find that we pack this vehicle with a forward gear or a front gear. But while leaving, I leave with this vehicle in a reverse manner. Then I exit from far there. This is the upper slope. On the lower slope, you will find that this is the entrance of somebody who maybe have decided to park on the lower slope. So this is also the entrance. So I enter through here. Then I'll also park by far left. So by far left. So I park this vehicle there. The same thing. Like this one, I also exit by reverse. Then through that exit and indicate on my left. So those are the 3 rules that are applied in angle parking. So the first one I've said it is simply for saloon vehicles. That's number 1. Number 2, I've said we park our vehicles starting from far left. Remember, it's not just left far, but it is far left. So we park by far left. Then, of course, number 3, I've said that we park our vehicles in angle parking in a forward manner, or in a front gear, with a front gear. But while leaving, remember that we leave the vehicles in a reverse manner. Why do you call it this parking zone controlled parking? It is controlled because it is reserved for the specific vehicles, which are saloon cars, as I've mentioned. Then why do you call it angle parking? You will find that vehicles are parking in this parking zone in an angled manner. That is the reason as to why we call this parking zone angle parking. I'll go to the second type of parking zone, whereby we say that we call it flash parking. This is the flash parking I'm talking about. So it has also 3 names. You can call it flash parking, you can call it uncontrolled parking, or you can also call it parallel parking. We say with flash parking, that is a parking zone. You can park any type of vehicle. So we park any type of vehicle. Here we park any type of vehicle except farm machinery. Somebody can park any type of vehicle except farm machinery. Here, we also, in terms of how we park our vehicles, we can find that vehicles are parked here in the reverse. So it is opposite of this one. So this one, the flash parking, we park vehicles by reverse here, but when exiting, we exit by forward here. Remember, it is opposite of this one. It is opposite of parking. So here we park vehicles with a reverse manner, but while leaving, we leave with these vehicles with a forward or a front here. Remember, we said at angle parking that with angle parking starts from far left, but in the flash parking begins from anywhere. Parking rather starts from anywhere. Starts from anywhere. I'll move to the third part of the traffic. That part of the model onboard, which is at the traffic cross. Of course, we have the traffic cross that leads us to the parking zone, or even the roundabout. So here we have 2 types of road. We have what we call two-way traffic road. This is what we call two-way traffic road. And in two-way traffic road, we find that vehicles are moving in 2 opposite directions. That is what is meant by two-way traffic road. We have the features found in two-way traffic road. One of the features, as you can see, it is what we call pedestrian crossing. Remember, pedestrian crossing is a safe place provided for the safe crossing of the pedestrians. Pedestrian crossing is a safe place provided for the safe crossing of the pedestrians. And as a good driver, when approaching pedestrian crossing, you have to approach pedestrian crossing with a speed that you can control your vehicle, so that I cannot danger pedestrian crossing over there. So this is what you call two-way traffic roads. So remember, there is a yellow line. We have a yellow line, single yellow line, dividing the two-way traffic road into 2. So remember, these are a yellow line dividing the traffic flowing in opposite direction. Then we also have what we call one-way. We have what we call one-way traffic road, whereby we will see that we have major road and minor road. As you can see, I try to compare between here. These are 3-lane road. It has 3 lanes. 1, 2, 3. It has 3 lanes, and also here it has 3 lanes. We also find that this road here is a 4-lane road. Then here is the same as here. So remember the rule of the traffic road in Kenya tells us that you always keep left unless of attacking. So we always keep left unless of attacking. Remember that is the rule of the traffic road in Kenya. We count these lanes from left side. According to the direction, the directional arrows are facing, then from left, that is our lane 1. So from here, this is lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. So we count these lanes according to the direction arrows are facing. Then from left, that is lane 1. Here also, the direction arrows are facing that direction. That's why I count these lanes from my left. This is my left. This is lane 1, lane 2, lane 3 that way. And remember, these arrows are moving over there, and this one are moving towards this side. These ones are moving towards that side direction, and this one are moving towards that direction. So this is the lanes that have three, the road that have 3 lanes is what we call a minor road. Yeah, we call it minor road. But the road that is a 4-lane road or more, we call it major road. So this is minor road, this is another minor road. When you come here, this is what you call major road, and this is another major road, and there is another major road. Okay. In the middle of these lanes, remember the lanes, as I mentioned earlier, a lane is a path. It is a path to be followed by the vehicle. In the middle of these lanes, you will find that we have what we call arrows. These arrows, the function of these arrows, they give us direction. That is why we call these arrows directional arrows. From lane 1 in minor road, because we have said that these arrows will come, these lanes will come from left. This is lane 1. This is lane 1, and remember, always lane 1 has 2 options. I'll show you through these options of each and every lane. Each and every lane has its own options. Each and every lane has its own options. Lane 1, as I had said at the beginning, that roundabout we count these lanes from outermost towards inside. This is lane 1, this is lane 2, this is lane 3, and of course this is lane 4. So lane 1, shown by these arrows, it has 2 options. Shown by these arrows, there is an option that is left side that you can go straight or turn left 90 degrees. So you can either choose to go straight, you can either go straight and exit to lane 1 over there. Then for example, you can also turn left. You can also turn left. So you indicate and turn 90 degrees left. That is lane 1. Lane 2, when you come to lane 2, you will find that lane 2 has only one option. Lane 2 has only one option. You will find that lane 2 has only one option. So, because I was in, when I was in lane 1, I joined lane 1 at the roundabout. Now that I'm in lane 2, I'll also change lane 2 at the roundabout and go straight. So I'll join lane 2 at the roundabout and maintain that lane, then I'll exit lane 2 in this far end. That is the only option that lane 2 has. When you come to lane 3, you will find that lane 3 is a bit different. It has more options. It has more options. You will find that this lane 3 on minor road has 5 options, which I'm going to take you through. So lane 3 on major road has 5 options. The first 2 options of lane 3 uses lane 3 at the roundabout. The first 2 options of lane 3 and minor road uses lane 3 at the roundabout. Then the rest 3, to make it a total of 5, it uses lane 4. Remember that lane 3 is the only lane which is allowed to use lane 4 at the roundabout. Lane 3 is the only lane which is allowed to use lane 4 at the roundabout. So the first option, I'll join lane 3, and maintain that lane, then I'll also exit lane 3. The second lane, I'll also join lane 3, then I'll turn on my right, on my right, and exit to lane 3. The remaining 3 vehicles here are allowed to use lane 4. So now I change lane 4 and make an L-turn, and exit to lane 4. The fourth option, I'll also go straight to the innermost lane, which is lane 4. Then I'll make U-turn. I'll make hamper to lane 3. Then the last option, I'll also change the 4th lane and move in an and make an odd turn. We call it an odd turn, which is 270 degrees. That is minor road. Those are options of minor road on the town road. Then when you come to major road, remember major road is a lane which has 4 lanes, 4 or more lanes. So lane 1, the same thing as we have seen in our minor road lane 1, it has also 2 options. So the last option of lane then 1 tells us you can go straight, shown by these arrows. So you can either go straight, Remember, in going straight, that is 0 degrees. Going straight, those are 0 degrees. The second option of length 4, measure or rather the length 1, tells us that you turn left 90 degrees. So I'll turn my left 90 degrees. Those are two options of length 1. When you come to length 2, you'll also realize that length 2 on major road is the same as length 2 on minor road. That's only one option. So I turn length 2 and go straight and exit length 2 that far end. So length 3 is a bit different from length 3 on minor road. So length 3 on major road is a bit different from length 3 on minor road. Remember, length 3 on minor road has two options. Length 3 on major road has all the two options. You can either go straight, so I'll change length 3. Because I'm at length 3, I'll change length 3 at the roundabout, then I'll go straight and exit from length 3 from that fire. Then the second option tells us that you turn left, you turn rather right, you turn right. So I'll also change the turn lane and I'll turn to my right and exit with lane 2. Remember, when coming from major road, joining minor road, then we have to subtract one lane. So we will less one lane. That is the reason as to why I was from lane 3 on major road, I'll join the third lane at the roundabout and maintain that lane, then I will exit to lane 2. Simply because I'm from major road, joining minor road. So each and every time when coming from major road, joining minor road, then you have to subtract one lane. So 3 minus 1 is 2. That's why I have considered with lane 2 on my right. Then the fourth lane is a lane that has 4 options. Lane 4 on Otagon road has 4 options, and I'm here to take you through. I'll take you through those options. So lane 4 has 4 options, and remember, all the 4 options uses lane 4 of the roundabout. So there's a formula that we apply, that you can apply to assist us to demonstrate the options that this lane 4 has. So we have a formula called log formula. In log formula, it means as there is an L to represent L term. Then we have U, which means U turn. Then we have O, meaning O turn. Then we have C, representing or meaning complete turn. So I'll change lane 4, then I'll make an L turn using my car. So I change lane 4, then I exit to lane 3. Remember, I've said when coming from major road, joining minor road, then we have to less one lane. So lane 4 minus 1 to 3 is 3. That's why I have changed lane 4 and exit to lane 3 on my right. Then the second option in following the log formula or LUOC, that you'll find that the second letter is letter U. So U, I'll change lane 4. And throw or make a U-turn and come back to lane 4. Remember, this is lane 4 of the roundabout. Since these arrows are coming from this side, then counting from left, this is lane 1, this is lane 2, this is lane 3, and this is lane 4. Then the third option of lane 4, remember that it is an O-turn. So it is an O representing O-turn. So now that we go roundabout in a clockwise manner or a clockwise direction, we follow the direction of the clock. So a clock watch is moving in a clockwise direction and not in the clockwise direction. So I'll make O-turn. I'll change lane 4 at the roundabout. Then I'll make an O-turn using my vehicle. Then I'll exit with lane 3 on my left. Finally, since I have said that lane 4 has 4 options, the last option here is O-turn, rather the complete turn. Complete turn represented by C. C represents complete turn. So I make a complete circle. Now that you bearing in mind that we go around about in the clockwise direction, then I'll make a complete circle. And remember, a complete circle has 360 degrees. Then I'll exit from that lane 4 and that far end. Remember, in terms of degrees, this L turn, as I say, this is what you want. This is 90 degrees. I hope you know. So this one, the second option is U-turn, which is 180 degrees, 180 degrees. Then at bottom is 270 degrees, 20 degrees, 270 degrees. Then finally complete, and of course it has 360 degrees. It has 360. So those are just the features of the motor downboard and options. As I've taken you through, you've seen the options that each and every lane has. So once you know this one, then you are done with the motor downboard. So motor downboard, as I said, it is a representation of the roads found in our big cities or big towns. It is a representation of the roads that are found in our big cities, or example of the road network found in Kenya. So this is what we call motor downboard. Hope by now you have known what is motor downboard. I've taken you through the features that motor downboard has. I've also taken you through the options that each and every lane has. So welcome all to Assist Driving School. We offer quality driving skills, and that will, at the end of the day, will satisfy all our clients. So welcome so much to Assist Driving School. We are now open. You can enroll with any of our branches, and welcome you all. So may God bless you. My name is Vincent, theory instructor. So welcome all, karibuni sana, enroll, visit our offices and enroll there. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God still bless you in this as we continue this new year 2022. May God take us through and bless us. Thank you so much. My name is Vincent. Welcome back again. Thank you so much.